Hey everybody, this is Merrick coming at you not live with another figure review. So, we have ourselves another Transformer here that I picked up from another trip to Tall's to Paul's Toy Room. Tall's Poi Room sounds like a place where you'd get poi is a whatchamacallit. It is a type of pudding, I believe, from Hawaiian culture. I could be mistaken. I've never really had it, but I just know about it. But I went down to Jersey and I visited Paul's Toy Room again, and I found a Transformer that I was kind of looking for. I couldn't really figure out like where I kind of wanted from. I saw his design online. And I'm like, oh, this guy looks cool. I'd like this little dude for my Autobot collection, and here he is. I present you with Autobot Scattershot from Transformers Cybertron. So, Transformers Cybertron is part of the Unicron trilogy, which was one of the series I grew up with. Now, I don't remember a lot of Cybertron. I really only remember Sideways returning, and the fact that we must get the Cyber Planet keys, not to be confused with the Irish singing trees. Either way, the point is that Scattershot here was one of the smaller Autobots on the Autobot team in that show, and I don't know much about him. I just saw his design and said, oh yeah, he looks cool. And in all fairness, I don't think I wanted to get the Cybertron Defense Squad version, only because I like this little dude a little bit better. I think this is a little bit more creative than, the big missile pods that the future version of him came with, where he gets revived from the dead, sort of. So, where do I begin with Scattershot here? Well, as you can sort of see, his robot mode is very small. Apologies for the weird shadows that I'm casting. I am not filming this during the day, and I only have to work with unnatural light from my light posts. But, so as you can sort of see, his stature is very small and teeny, and he is an older figure, so his articulation is not the greatest, but that's completely okay. It's sort of circumvented by the fact that he just looks nice, and we may never get this figure again. Also, as you see from these, he's very taller than the camera can sort of pick up, so let me just try to, there we go. Now he's almost fully on screen. His feet just kind of don't come off. Got little toesies there for some reason. But Scattershot here looks pretty cool. I like the design a lot, as I keep saying, because just look at him. I love those goggles. I love the big old backpack with the guns. He kind of reminds me of something out of Metal Arm's Glitch in the System, if you've ever heard of that game or played it. A bit of a nostalgia game for me. Also, he's got a little... Okay. This is something that somewhat bothers me, that I sort of see it from the back here. I like this backpack. I think this backpack is perfectly fine. I just kind of wish that it went up a little bit, because it would look like an actual backpack, and I think it would sell a sort of commando gear look. At least something out of Republic Commando. I'm not sure. I know Fixer had a similar backpack, but these are supposed to be missile pods or, blasters you can flip forward and whatnot. But I'm only really going to mess around with that as little as possible, because it's a huge backpack. It would just kind of make him top heavy if I tried to do that and try to stand him up with it. And as you can sort of see there, whoop, let me try to get that in real quick. We had a breakage. Now, I did not buy this figure broken. This figure was perfect, as pristine as can be for a loose figure out of the store. He must have broke when I was messing around with him when I got him back, because he's kind of been a desk former for me. So I'm very, very careful about that, and I wouldn't have suspected there'd be a breakage there, but his little backpack's on very thin hinges, so yeah, that kind of happened. But here he is. I like his goggles. His goggles look really cool. Give him a sort of Sam Fisher kind of look with the night vision. I like his double blaster. I don't know. There's something about, like, dual guns like this that look cool. You know, bonus points if you can make it, like, a Gatling gun kind of blaster, but a two-pronged blaster still pretty sick either way. And as you can sort of see, obviously, with the backpack, there's a little springy thingy in there. And that's because, again, we bring out the Irish singing tree, the Cyber Planet key that every Cybertron figure came with, I believe. Also, he got a code in there. I don't know what these do or are for or what you were supposed to use them for, but he got a code on the back of his key, which is a very nice deep blue. I really like the silver paint on these. I have the Cybertron, what's his face? The recent Cybertron, what the fuck? I can't think of his name at the moment. Slingshot. No, not Slingshot. What the frick? He's... and he's from Armada, too. That's what makes it worse that I can't remember. But, it's the only other Cybertron figure that wasn't Starscream. I'm gonna, if anybody leaves a comment, if I don't remember, which I'm more than likely gonna remember as I film this, so make fun of me as you will before I say the name, because the name is... God damn it, I can't think of it at the moment. I hate when that happens. Well, again, I'm a fake Transformers fan, so that is how it goes. But, so... Again, his articulation is very limited, really only serving for the transformation, especially in the legs. He doesn't have any modern amenities. He can just kind of, like, you know, do this, really only for the transformation, as I said before. But he's still got, like, you know, some good ball joints in the elbows there, and he can move his arms out. It doesn't really help with his gun, though. I don't know, I can't really get him into... I could get him into cool poses, as you sort of saw with the thumbnail, but... That's the best as you could put it, and it's so hard to stand him up straight. He just kind of looks like he's trying to do the Michael Jackson lean from the angle. Again, I can work with that. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Like, he doesn't stand up straight like this. He kind of just leans forward a little bit, which is perfectly fine and acceptable, but, you know, I wish it wasn't the case, either way. But the thing I like about him, though, which serves his Scattershot name, is... So his gun is hard to pose a little bit, but he's got these, so what are his wheels in the transformation are these two shoulder guns that just, like, you know, as the wheels, like, rotate, they can just sort of, like, look around anywhere you want them to, which is kind of neat. So that's, like, a Scattershot feature. I don't know, they kind of remind me of Searchlights a little bit, and as I imagine them, the wheels roll and they just, like, you know, and that honestly kind of fits him, I think. So, the other thing was, I showed off the Cyber Planet key earlier. Maybe I should wait until I transform him into his vehicle mode, and then I'll show that off. Which, the transformation, very simple, though kind of, you know, whatever. Took him off screen for a sec. Just taking his gun out of his hand. It's easy, again, it's for those who are new to my stuff, it's easier for me to pull him off screen in order to do the transformation. So, first step. You flip his little treads out. Oh, by the way, I really like the paint on the treads. That gold looks nice. You flip his feet in. The next step. What is the next step? I believe you have to move his backpack up, which is going to be a pain in the ass due to the breakage. Again, just a reminder, I bought him secondhand in really good condition from a toy shop. I'm the one that broke the figure by messing around with him. I did not buy him broken. I know. I saw the frickin' thing. He looked fine. And then when I got him home after messing around with him in the car and, like, you know, put him on my desk and fiddling with him, I noticed the breakage and I was like, oh shit, that's bad. So, basically, next step, you put his backpack up like that somewhat because you need some clearance here. So you're going to want to do this. I'm trying to figure that out. Whoop. Alright, yeah, you pull his backpack up, and then you flip the front car forward, right? Next step. When his head's in there, you pull his legs up like so, to get his legs in there, fold it up with the car. Boom, shakalaka, boom. His arms will flip in like, whoop. His arms will flip in like so. Give me 1 second. Bing. So there's a little diddly in there. You shove the little gun turrets into those. Hold on. I will get it clear as crystal off camera real quick. Clear as crystal. So that way nobody can say anything bad about the transformation. Or I'm fucking it up. Do. I kind of want to see, like, I'm just going to get some thoughts out about it at first. I kind of want to see a new version of this guy, to be fair. We don't get a lot of, like, new versions of older figures that aren't G1, which kind of sucks, but that's the way the cookie kind of crumbles. Okay, so I kind of put it back in place with the breakage fixed a little bit. I don't want to mess around with glue, but... So, here's what he looks like in his full transform mode. However, I almost forgot. See his little gun? Put it right in the back of his head, and boom, shakalaka! You got the hot Christmas toy of 2000, whenever this guy came out. And he's probably not the hot Christmas toy. Oh, those work? I didn't think those worked! Oh, they're friction firing! Wait a second. Pew! Whoop. Okay, one works better than the other. I didn't think those worked anymore. I was like, okay, Jar Jar's in the same spot, because I was tapping those, I'm like, where's the button to launch these? Because usually the spring-loaded section with these, but with the Cyberplanet key, with Cyberplanet key usually works. But I'll get to that in 1 second. So, in vehicle mode, he rolls around pretty decently, even on a table like this. I like the wheels, they're really fun, and I like the treads. I believe they have... Yep, the tread's got little teeny tiny wheels in them too, so they will move around. The thing I like the most about this is you can have, like, because he's got, like, double guns. You can have these things looking in any direction, and it will look cool. Like, I don't know, it feels like do-do-do-do-do, because he's supposed to be, like, a missile tank, or an anti-air tank. I'm not sure, but I know, like, his future form has, like, the anti-air missile pods on them, like the SAM style. But he is more of a quad tank. I know that these are missiles, but like I said, you could use them as like big old guns. They kind of remind me of like some APC, but still looks cool. However, again, the play feature of Cybertron, real quick. We take our Cyberplanet key, again, not to be confused with the Irish singing tree, and we plug it in here. His back, and shing! We got extra missile pods. So he looks cool on top of that. I kind of wish that it had more of a substantial look in robot mode with these out. Because again, the backpack looks a little odd when it's low on his back, but not in vehicle mode. He looks cool. And it's such a shame that he broke on me, because I like transforming him. Again, he's a desk form. Like, this dude became a new desk former for me, because I really like this little robot design. So, it kind of sucks, but I don't know. I love this. I gotta see about, like, potential fixes, and I looked up online to see if anybody else had, like, breakage issues with him, and I could not find anybody. I read somewhere that somebody did break a Scattershot. Hold on, I'm gonna take a sip of water. I'm talking too much tonight. Yeah. I heard somebody broke a Scattershot, so I'm like, oh, I don't know if there was like a common breakage in that little thing or not, but it is what it is. So, let me get him back to robot mode for some size comparisons. But yeah, no, I like the little Cyberplanet key feature. It's a nice little spring-loaded feature that doesn't really interfere with the toy. And I like the little friction firing missiles, so let me pull out the Irish singing tree. Oh, luck of the Irish, I tell ye. I am the Irish singing tree. Sing along with me now. Oh, no, we don't have to sing along. I'm just going to transform him off screen real quick, so I'll get him back into robot mode in no time. But yeah, no, like, I really enjoy this little guy. There's something fun about, like, older figures being, like, desk formers, and in some cases feeling a little bit more safer to transform, though, again, I had that breakage, so I'm like, oh, please don't break on me, man. Please. I don't want to, like, I just got you. I don't want to break you and then have to find another one. I don't know. I don't like replacing broken toys. It's just, oh, that kind of sucks, because these things should be, like, sturdy and stable. But so far, that little teeny tiny breakage shouldn't be a bad thing, and I don't think that it would like compound the transformation much if it snapped off. Not that I'm going to try to snap it off. Hell to the no on that. Okay, wait, I actually got him back decently. Floop. Oh wait, gotta do his arms up. Ding, there we go. And he's gonna come in like a sumo pose. There we go. Scattershot again in robot mode with his little scatter shotguns and his double blaster and his cyberplanet key. Okay, so that's Scattershot. So let's do a quick size comparison and we can be on our way. Here he is next to my last Transformers review. I believe it was Gears. I could be wrong. I know my last review was the Street Shark, but here he is next to Gears. He's still a teeny tiny boy. And by the way, this guy, really fun transformation, just like this. They're in the same league. That's why I want a new one of these. Maybe he'd be in scale with the mini bots. I'm not sure, but I want a new version of him. I like to stand them together and compare and whatnot. I know it kind of sucked that he doesn't have the planet key thing, but that's perfectly fine, I guess. No planet key gimmick. At least it'll, like, you know, the spring loading. But I probably won't have to worry about a breakage like that. They'll probably reinforce it. But yeah, that was him next to Gears. He's still a tiny boy, and here's him next to a modern core class, which has sadly been discontinued. They're about the same, though. The core class, it's hard to tell a little bit because, so, again, Scattershot is leaning forward. He's doing the Michael Jackson lean. Yeah, no, fucking Bomb Burst here is shorter. Only because, well, yeah, he's shorter, but still. You got a lot of bot. Still, there's a decent amount of bot for $10, and I think that the Scout class is what he's a part of. Was $10 too. Apologies for getting that all weird and whatnot. Trying to do a quick size comparison. Yeah, nah, definitely. He is taller than Bomb Burst, so he's taller than a sort of standard core class. Interesting. So, thoughts and ideas on him. Well, Scattershot's a cool toy. I like it. I'm not too crazy about the breakage, but again, that's my fault, not the store's fault. I messed with him. I broke him. That is my fault. You can't blame the store for something I did. It's not the toy did not break at the store. It broke in my hands, or partially broke in my hands. But what do I think of this guy fully? I think he's a really cool figure. I'm not too crazy about, like, as you can sort of see, like, the articulation game between all of these is so different. Like, there's no ankle pivots. The most you got is in the knees. He's got no real leg articulation. But for a teeny tiny boy, this is a really nice little figure, and I like this a lot. Again, I feel like a modern version would help it last and would be able for people to get it more, though I don't know how they do it without the core class. He'd probably be sized up and sold as like not a Voyager, what the fuck? I forget the size classes. Voyager, I think, is like the middle, then it's Leader, then Commander, and then whatever was below Voyager, that the name escapes me. But he could probably be the one below Voyager and get away with it, because he's kind of I don't want to say he's kind of a no-name. He's probably got a lot of fans, like, around there. I'm definitely one of those fake fans that just loves him for the design. Oh, one little teeny tiny bit. I love the fact that his Autobot symbol's on his, like, wrist guard there. That's actually kind of neat and cool. It's not on his chest or anything. It's a nice spot to put it. Again, I love his paint. I love the plastic color usage. He's a nice toy. And does it stand the test of time? Oh, fucking definitely. This is a really nice figure, especially coming from a person that... I don't want to say I wasn't a fan of Cybertron. I just don't remember Cybertron a lot. I haven't watched it in forever. So, again, I'd say pick one up if you can find him. Otherwise, hopefully wait or pray for a re-release if you don't want to pay aftermarket prices, because sometimes this guy could go for a lot, methinks, especially for such a little tiny bot. Like, again, that's the only like negative part about like this sort of deal when you're collecting retro figures is that like the hunting for a good price can be a bit of a pain in the ass. And I came close to find like, so before I figured out like his actual size, I came close to finding one. I came close to finding one before, but it turned out it wasn't him at all. It wasn't even the fucking what's the name of that? What's the name of that fucking the Cybertron defense version with the missile pods? So, dare I say, you come across him in the wild, grab him if you want him or if you like him. If you don't like him, I don't know what to tell you. He's not the figure for you. Like a lot of things are not figures for certain people. Also, I just noticed Jar Jar didn't get the missile shoot today because I didn't think his missiles would work, and his friction-fired missiles aren't the greatest, but hey, it is what it is. Plus, you gotta give bonus points for the... It's probably not gonna work like this, but... Yeah, oh hey, it worked! Yay! Again, this serves very minimal usage out of vehicle mode. I like the figure. The gimmick's a little weird, but, you know, that's what you get when you mess around with the Irish singing trees. But that's my thoughts on Scattershot here. So, thank you guys for catching me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. And remember, as always, be yourselves. Merrick out. Peace.